What's up YouTube, this is HDD Recovery Services. Today I'm going to talk to you about this flash drive that came in for recovery. It's made by Verbatim and it's a fairly common unit that we see here at the lab. This device specifically has a damaged connector, I'm feeling, because the flex test simply reveals that this thing is really wonky. So because this is made by Verbatim and we're getting quite a bit of these units in for that specific reason, I'm thinking that it might be something that has to do with the design flaw or just really generally common problem for Verbatim flash drives like this. So if you guys have a unit that looks like that, there's a good chance that the connector might be damaged on it. Easiest way to tell is just try to extract it and try to wiggle it a little bit. If it moves freely, there's a good chance that one of the pins or maybe even all of them are separated. So let's see what we're gonna do with this device, and hopefully we can get it running so that the customer can get the information back. Alright, so to take this thing apart, there's more ways than one. This unit does have a seam right in the middle on its side. Once it gets spread out, the enclosure falls apart fairly easily. So this is what our flash drive looks like, and I will show you the device underneath the scope view right now. And if we zoom into our connector, this is too much light. Just quickly adjust this. This is what it looks like. So looking at the connection section right here, we can definitely say that there is a problem here. One pin is missing off the header. Seems like 3 remaining ones are still there. But if we look on the angle and zoom into it, we're going to reveal a bunch of other problems, such as lifted pads, like the one in this case. Oh yeah, it's completely torn off. None of them are actually making contact. So if you guys look at it like this, you see that the connector is actually not even connected, and it took part of printed circuit board with it. These are the parts that actually do need extra attention to be paid to, because sometimes in these parts of the circuit board there's still some routings, there's still some circuitry aside from the ground plane that get damaged. If there is any of the tracks leading to vital components, even if we put a new connector on there, this device may still not work. But looking at this right now, I don't really see anything critical missing. Yes, we are missing a chunk of this ground plane that probably led all the way up to here and then came up here. But it's a ground plane. We still have grounds everywhere else, and we're going to use the ground on this pin right here, because it is a ground pin. In here though, this is where I see a little bit of a problem occurring. Let's see where this leads to. Okay, so this is still the ground plane. Don't really worry about that. I mean, it seems to me like the connector just slightly took out parts of the ground, which is not a huge deal to begin with. So to get it going, we're gonna fire up the soldering iron. I'm gonna turn on my fume extractor because I don't want to breathe in this stuff. Maybe before I do that, I'll walk you through the rest of the stuff that we're gonna be taking care of. So as you guys can see, up here only the ground pad is still on. We're missing this one, we're missing this one, and the first pad that comes out of the connector. Okay, so because this is a fairly open area, finding out what needs to be connected to what is not very difficult. As you guys can see here, the first leg off of this header will mount to this end of this resistor. So when we're putting a new connector on the device, we can simply run a jumper directly from the header to here, and that will account for the first pin. The second pin and the third pin go to these via holes. If we turn it upside down, we'll discover that these holes are underneath the controller component, which makes it very inconvenient for us to mount to from the back side. So we're gonna have to actually use this side to attach a jumper to. So in order to put a jumper to a specific spot, we need to remove the silk screening. Otherwise, we just won't be able to solder up to it. Now, every now and then I get a unit that's been worked on by somebody else, and it seems like all they're doing is they're just trying to solder anything to make that connector hold in place. This is not how you perform the repair. These pins supposed to go to specific positions. Don't just start soldering to whatever exposed piece of pads or solder you can find on the board and attach wires to it or attach legs to it from the connector. You're just gonna damage the device even further. Bag of connectors. I really like these new connectors I got. They are actually great for replacing the old ones, but in this situation, because the connections will have to be made to these via points, I'm gonna run jumpers from each pin directly to the PCB. Okay, so with this thing we're pretty much done. I'm just gonna put some flux on it. And set it aside. And same thing on the back side, just adding flux to the headers. I got some bare copper wire. I'm just gonna use bare copper wire today. Okay, so that was pretty much all that we needed to do. I'm gonna unplug this. This is my extension cord. Plug it in, and what we're going to be looking for is a LED light blinking. There we go. There's the LED blinking away. So this is the screen capture. I'm gonna obviously blur everything out. I can't show you guys what's on this flash drive, but there's the stuff. If we're gonna try and open up one of these files, it works. So that's a successful recovery. If you guys need help with this kind of stuff, feel free to contact us. The information is on your screen, and I really hope that you like this presentation. Hit like if you did, subscribe to this channel. There's data recovery content being uploaded to this channel constantly. So enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.